the dinner than all of us. Deputy President of the African National Congress and your better half, all ANC officials and members of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, the leadership of the ANC, the SACP, COSATU, SANCO, members of the Fraternal organizations and international guests who are with us here. Members of the Progressive Business Forum, members of the business community, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, comrades, and friends. Yabona ke Khabazela, inkinga ifikibela kumina. Uthi umla ufuna ukubona ukuthi obani laba bala endlini. Kucishwa amalambu ngamabomu nje. Kuvele kucishe kube mnyama nje, kube half mnyama, half kukhanya. Uma ungathi kusasa ngangikhona edineni ngithi uqamba manga kuba sikubonanga. Kodwa ke ngiyabona ukuthi indlela okwenziwa ngayo kuyacashelwana nje. Noma kucashelwana nje kufuna nikwenetu zemali. Because kuye kube kuhle ubona ukuthi awunampo sibanibani. I've never understood the logic behind it. Somebody will educate me one day. Ukuthi you are there but not there, you know? We welcome fraternal movements such as Frelimo, who are here with us, MPLA, Chama Chama Penduzi, SWAPO, ZANU-PF, who are our special guests. Now, I know that things these days or stories are told through acronyms. Some of the acronyms here you cannot decipher, like Frelimo is a long word, but is the ruling party in Mozambique that fought for freedom in Mozambique. The MPLA as well is a party that is ruling Angola that fought for the freedom. Chama Chama Penduzi is a Tanzanian ruling party that ruled from 1961 up to today. Sorry. And SWAPO of Namibia and ZANU-PF. These are our guests and these are our comrades. We like to keep that relationship going. To all of us, that relationship and our parties are more important than anything. So we're very happy that our comrades and colleagues are here. Some of them are ministers, etc. We're very happy that you are with us. We also welcome the representatives of the BRICS countries, who are our partners. A very important grouping in the conjuncture of today, given the global landscape, very important, we welcome you here in our country. The importance of the party-to-party relations with former liberation movements in particular is one of the most important grouping, particularly in our region here. So we are very happy, and I'm really, if it were to be according to me, if there were lights, I would have said, can they stand up so that everybody sees them? But then it's just dark, so they wouldn't see, they would just see just figures standing up, not the faces. Would like to welcome everyone, our friends, our comrades. We are convening tomorrow what we call in brief NGC. As I said, stories are told through acronyms these days. Generally, it means the National General Council of the African National Congress, a very important gathering of the ANC in between conferences of the ANC, national conferences. There are few very important gatherings of the ANC. It is its national conference, it is its NGC, where we discuss the progress and review how we've implemented our resolutions and programs and work out the way forward. But also we have a policy conference where we sit to work out policy and then recommend to the national conference. The resolutions of the policy conference become the recommendations so that they are decided by the national conference. So the NGC is as important account as possible. Now these conferences are really conferences of the branches, because branches take the final big decisions, of course together with the leadership. So tomorrow we'll be saying something about that one. Tonight it's not a speech. If there was to be any speech, I'm sure if there is, it could only be tomorrow. Today is just welcoming our friends and colleagues, but also saying why we are in Gauteng. This is to ensure, to confirm that indeed you are in Gauteng, so you'll be with us tomorrow. Just to check. Once we have a dinner on the eve of our events, but not just to check only, also to remind you that the African National Congress is a non-profit organization. Yes. It makes no profit. But it's very huge. It's the biggest organization in the country. So just to having confirmed that you are all here, but also say, just remember, this organization that you are associated with is a non-profit making organization, which means it is looking at you with a very interesting eye. Just to remind you that this country is what it is because of this organization, poor as it is. So, if that is the case, we need to remember that we must remember this organization, because it has created an environment which is very conducive for everything to be done, everything, including business, among others. Well, we can talk about that more on a good day. Today I was just telling you that the reason we love to be with you, to enjoy the evening on the eve, just to confirm that friends are there, but also to remind them that, bear in mind, this organization does not make profit. It only creates conducive environment for people who can make profit. Huh? Then once you make profit, you then know who created the conducive environment. Not so. The NGC takes place in the middle of a global economic difficulties. And this situation has been with us for a long time. We had said we wanted to grow our economy by 5% by 2019. And this target is proving indeed to be difficult to achieve under these conditions. But we shall soldier on, working with you, our shareholders, particularly the business community. As you know, since 2008, the global economic meltdown has not gone better. Even the oldest economies have been struggling to come out of difficulties. Of course, if that is the situation, we could safely say that this period calls for unity among all of us to work together to bring up innovations. What can we do? We've tried many things to meet the situation, and I think we've been floating so far. We haven't gone under. But it is a difficult period for everyone. There's not a single country that is doing very well, or that has been doing very well all the time. Some are coming out of the difficulties, like the United States of America, for an example. Must work together to promote our country and to disseminate positive and encouraging messages about our country. One of the problems we do, in our view, we are very critical of ourselves, at times overcritical. When you meet people outside the country who envy to be South Africans, you almost get some fresh air. Do they know South Africa that South Africans themselves know? But they do. Precisely because there is a lot that our country has achieved, and they recognize this. If that is the case, we ought to be celebrating some of our achievements. because we have achieved a lot as a country. And indeed, many countries recognize that, and they speak about it. The successes that people speak about outside, they are less spoken about inside the country. But we have done well. The World Economic Forum's annual Global Competitiveness Report 2015 to 2016 has said that South Africa climbed up 7 spaces or places from 56 to 49 countries of 140 countries. We are now back in the top 50 in the world. These are people who look at these things and tell the world what's happening. South Africa's biggest improvements come in the areas of health and primary education, up to 6 places, efficiency, up to 6 places, technological readiness, up to 16 places, and innovation, up to 5 places. South Africa has also improved in the area of macroeconomic environment, up to 4 places, higher education and training, up to 3 places, and business sophistication, up to 2 places. So we don't put ourselves in whatever level. Some people do put us into some places. However, South Africa cannot be complacent. That's why we need to work together, all of us. That's why, more than anything, you need to support the ruling party because it has very good policies. That's why we're doing very well. Good policies, good programs. That's why you must remember what I said earlier. It is a known something. In February, we announced a 9-point plan to push the economy forward, ignite growth and create jobs as part of implementing the National Development Plan. We made these points, and it's absolutely important to remind ourselves, what did we say? We said, 1, we wanted to resolve the energy with the energy challenge, and it is a long road, it's not a short one. I asked somebody today, what has happened to load shedding? Somebody, was there load shedding here? People are beginning to forget that there has been load shedding, which was a big cry every day. But it's a long road to go, don't worry. Resolving the energy challenge. That's one of our tasks. Revitalizing agriculture and agro-processing value chain. Advancing beneficiation or adding value to our mineral wealth. More effective implementation of a higher impact industrial policy action plan. encouraging private sector investment, moderating workplace conflict, unlocking the potential of SMMEs, cooperatives, township and rural enterprises, state reform and boosting the role of state-owned companies, ICT infrastructure or broadband rollout, water, sanitation, and transport infrastructure, as well as Operation Pakisa, aimed at growing the ocean economy and other sectors. So in a sense, we are clear where we are going. So when we say, let us work together, we say, let us work together to do X, Y, Z. The ruling party, the African National Congress's mission, as you know, is to transform the economy, achieve inclusive growth, and create decent work for our people. This requires the economy to grow faster. Government is clearly committed to improve the investment climate and ease of doing business. Business must respond as well by investing in the economy, especially South African companies. The ANC government is establishing a one-stop interdepartmental clearinghouse to attend to investor complaints and problems that have been raised by the private sector. In addition to South Africa being a destination for foreign direct investment, we are now also an important source of foreign direct investment in the African continent. The African continent is now widely acknowledged as the next growth frontier, and South Africa is in the fortunate position of having identified the growth opportunities in Africa many years ago already. This is why our trade policy prioritizes regional development through the South African Development Community, the tripartite free trade area, signed in June 2015 in Sharm el-Sheikh, and the Continental Free Trade Area. So it is not just one country shaping up, the entire continent is shaping up. We have 5 economic regions in the continent. 3 have signed, are coming together, and the negotiations have started with the remaining 2, so that we'll have one region, Africa, to develop intra-trade, and we believe that we can do more if we do so. These agreements do not only open the door to South African exporters only. They also provide investment opportunities for companies owned by South Africans or domiciled in South Africa. This outward investment should be celebrated. In other words, what Africa has been discussing and agreeing upon theoretically, practically we are now moving, and business people should position themselves for African growth, which is going to be massive for a very long time to come. We indeed do encourage our firms to seize the opportunity created by the African National Congress. The African National Congress has created opportunities. Partly when we meet in the NGC, we discuss many things, politics, business issues, many other things. How forces are nationally and where we are. And what is it that we need to do better? In all of this, we want South Africa to be well positioned so that we are able to move forward. Now, part of the reason we meet as we do is because we don't want to fail. We want to succeed. And I can tell you, we will succeed. When the African National Congress was formed, no one ever believed it will ever succeed and liberate South Africa. Perhaps it became even more doubtful to others in the course of the struggle. In fact, I heard many people criticizing some of the leaders of the ANC to say they were professionals, they left to do what they were doing and just went into the struggle because nobody believed it will ever succeed. The African National Congress succeeded. In a manner that some people who were looking at it called it a miracle. Because people didn't understand the South Africans. Because they did things differently than other people. I can tell you, our destination is a prosperous South Africa, and we are going to reach there. We are making a lot of strides moving forward to reach that place. But one of the important things that we need to do is to love this oldest organization in the continent of Africa, because it is reliable, dependable, experienced, it has a foresight, it has policies, plans, programs. All you need to do is to make it strong, make it powerful, give it instruments to walk the way, this long road. I've looked around, I must tell you, as a politician, looked at policies of other parties. I haven't found policies that can compare to those of the African National Congress about the future. We are very clear, very clear. We are as clear about where we are going as we were in 1912. You'll recall in 1912 that those who met said things that are still relevant today. Now, all we need is a capacity which you must participate in building, all of you. In fact, that is your major part. Just capacitate this organization. Once you have capacitated us, we'll change the gears, we'll move very fast. We could arrive there quicker during your lifetime. The time frames are in your hands. There's no doubt. As I say, I've read policies. I come back after reading other policies and say, well, no wonder the people of this country are not confused. Even in the face of very serious propaganda, they are very clear. So tomorrow we'll be meeting and saying, where are we? Where have we been? What have we been doing? What are we supposed to do? We'll be looking also to ourselves, perhaps to a very large extent, looking at our own. Just like the Amapogopo. Abadlali. Ma uweak akushaya azakushayisise. Uzube usizi impela kudabukisa abantu. Sifuna makuthiwa kubalwa ama-point. Makukhona isitharisha nabo kuthiwa kubalwa ukuthi mangaki esawafaka. Kutholakala ukuthi safaka amaningi kunabo bonke. Ubani ukhumbula kwenye score sithayi ama-try mangaki? I-Springbok score kangaki? Sinama-point amangaki? Hawubeni ngayibuka ngani kanti? 64. Yiphi enye iclub esikuyadlala yafika lapha? Kule competition. Ikhona? Ayikho. So ikhaphi yaphi? They've got a winning spirit njenge ANC. Absolutely. Because the ANC is a winning party. It's going to be a winning party, as I was talking about Chama Chama Penduzi for a long, long time. Chama Chama Penduzi, I think, is finishing 50 years now. 50 years. 50 years in power. It's not smart. So it's smart. Into zokwenzeka la South Africa. 50 years. Sidlule. Sihlanganisa 100 years. Ngoba phela ayikho into esebeke eceleni, yonke into siyiqondisa ngqo. Njengothi lo mkhonto. You know, I don't know, I always say this, I don't know how you feel when you're outside of the ANC, really. Because it's so wonderful to be inside. You are at home, you are warm, you know. We are born nje kumnandi. Am I wrong? Makuwaphuma ANC uyazaca. Zaca ube ukuthi. Bakubuza abantu ukuthi udliwa yini. Akuphunywa la. Kumnandi. But we'll be talking tomorrow, comrades and friends, about the NGC, the National General Council. For now, it is really to welcome you, to say be with us, participate with us, I'm sure you'll be seeing how we do things, and of course expecting you to help us advise. We always learn in the ANC. We take advice, we take everything. But we always say whatever you advise, it is adding, enhancing to our correct policies, because our policies are correct. There are things that we now take for granted, not so. Non-racialism, for an example. We've forgotten. We are an organization of the people. It does not mean that we don't make mistakes, we do, but we talk to the people. And we like to be told where we have made mistakes, so that we can correct the mistakes. Because we believe what we do it for the people. The NGC will be a report, not just to the ANC, but to the country. What have we done? And we'll be expecting people to participate with us and be with us. But for our friends here who are here today, just remember, it's an NGC tomorrow of an organization called the African National Congress, needing you more than any other time. Because the TG is a very nice and handsome young man. Please, when he knocks at the door, open the door. Don't close the door, open it. If you believe the door is smaller, open it wider so that he can come in and be with you. If he says we need something, he's not going to ask everything from you, no. Just one thing only. One thing and one thing only. What must you do? If he says support the ANC, we always advise, take your check as it is, sign and give him a blank check with an instruction. Just write 6 figures only, not more. No matter how those 6 figures look like. But there must not be more than 6, only. So he's a very careful gentleman. He will write what you could have written yourself. Huh? I always say to business people, if you support the ANC, you are a clever business. You are investing very wisely. Because if you are a businessman, and I've been told business people are very wise people, the investment to the ANC is a wise investment. If you don't invest in the ANC, your business is in danger. Agreed? Agreed? Well, let us meet in the NGC tomorrow. I think I was told it starts at 10. If I'm right, Upu SG, Yenoa Zekat. SG? DSG? They are not here. DP? You think it's 10? But thank you very much, Bagwetu. You are all welcome. Enjoy the dinner and enjoy the NGC tomorrow. Thank you very much.